I'm delighted to be joined now by Collins Ugachukwu, the first Nigerian-born player to play for Laois senior footballers at the launch of Super Values #Community Includes Everyone campaign. Now in their 13th year of supporting the GAA All-Ireland Senior Football Championship, Super Value is once again calling in each and every member of the GAA communities across the country to do what they can to make their community more diverse and inclusive. Collins, delighted to have you on the show. Well, look, first thing I'm curious to ask you about is, you were born in Nigeria, you moved to Newbridge at the age of 3. You've had a bit of a professional soccer career, certainly dipped into it, and now you're involved with the Laois Gaelic football team. Can you just talk to me a little bit about your journey to here?
It's, to be fair, it's been a crazy journey. So, like you said, I moved over here when I was quite young. So, I moved to Newbridge, and it just started from there. Really, I played soccer with a club called Newbridge Town. I was with Newbridge Town, and I played Gaelic for a local club called Sarsfields. So I would have played the both sport when I was young, and the only reason I actually played Gaelic is all my mates, all the lads played Gaelic, and I was like, oh yeah, because you're all playing Gaelic, so I'll join and play Gaelic. So I started. I think it was under 12s playing Gaelic, and I played with Sarsfields all the way up to minor. Then after minor, I kind of took soccer more seriously. So at the time I was playing up in Dublin with Bohemians, and I was kind of striving towards becoming a professional soccer player. So it kind of went from there, and was with Bohemians. Then played with Bohemians for a while. Then went to Scotland, played for Hibernian for a while. Went on loan for a couple of teams over in Scotland, like Selkirk. Then from there came back to Ireland. Then went to England, to Crawley Town. So it's been a crazy journey. Now I'm here speaking to you.
You sure are. How old are you at this stage?
Right now, how old am I? I'm 25. I only turned 25 there 1st of May. So
okay, so you've really been around the blocks at this stage. Can I ask you, in terms of your soccer career, would you have played alongside, played against, or trained with any players of note that people would have heard of?
So my manager when I was there was Harry Kuehl, the former Liverpool
really?
player. Yeah, he was my manager. I think something's after happening.
I can hear you loud and clear anyway, Collins.
Can you still see, Shane?
Yeah, I can see and hear you perfectly, Collins.
Okay, something popped up on the screen. That's something on Claire's laptop. Apologies. Let me just get it back down. And
no problem at all. The joys of going live here.
Oh no.
Right. Come on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so my manager would have been Harry Kuehl. I would have played against your man. You probably don't know him. His name is Dennis. He was in Love Island.
Oh, I watched it last summer.
I think it was last year or the one before. He was one of the players I would have played with, and there's a lot of other lads that probably wouldn't have. No one probably would know, but they play from like a lot. Most of them would be from Holland, different part of the country, really. So yeah, it was a good time. Like, it was a great time when I was there. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every minute of it. Unfortunately, it didn't go as planned, as well as I would have expected. Because after coming back, I came back here on holiday, and for a couple of weeks, then I got stuck here, really. So the lockdown kind of kept me in Ireland. So, and that's how my Gaelic journey began then.
Okay. Well, if I could rewind back again to, you were living in Nigeria until you were 3 years of age. Where in Nigeria do you remember being a kid back then?
I lived in Lagos.
It's a huge city, isn't it?
I lived in Lagos, but it's quite bad because I haven't been back since.
Right.
So it's been a long time since I've been back, and I probably need to go back just to go back to the roots. But it was Lagos where we lived in, and I've been Ireland since. I'm an Irish man now.
And do you recall like the first year? I don't remember being 3 years of age. I'm just curious to you because maybe it was a completely different environment.
I now and then I get flashbacks, like kind of now and then remember some little parts, and I'd be telling my parents, "Oh, I remember this when we were living back in Nigeria. Oh, I remember this," but I wouldn't really remember a lot, if that makes sense. It's just little
Yeah.
bits and glimpses that kind of like highlighted the place for me that I kind of remembered. Yeah.
And then when you came here, did you have to pick up English from scratch, or did you have a bit of it from?
No, so we speak English in Nigeria. So
Okay,
it's
okay,
there's different type of language, different languages in Nigeria.
okay.
Like the East speaks a whole different language than the North. The North speak, like, literally every part speaks a whole different language. So if I went to the North from the East, I wouldn't understand what you're speaking over in the North. If that makes sense. So it's but in general we all speak English, but it's not like clear English. It's kind of like broken kind of English. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's curious. You'll have to forgive my ignorance. I just didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, can you tell me about how you ended up playing Gaelic football? Because you started playing with Courtwood first, wasn't it? And then Billy Sheehan ended up giving you the call for Laois.
So 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 like I was saying, we came back here on a holiday, and at the time I was hoping to get a new contract with the current club I was playing football with over in England, and lockdown happened, and everything went dark. Like they closed over here, everything went shut over here, so everything was kind of up in the air. So I didn't know what was going to go on. My agent didn't know what was going to go on. I'm like, well, okay, we just have to wait and write this out and see what happens. So a year went, and we were still in lockdown because we were quite in lockdown for a long time. And at the time, the Gaelic clubs were kind of starting back training, but not like training collectively, like training individually. And like they were always put us in pods. I used to remember put us in pods before because of the distance, you know, you had to kind of keep the distance from everyone. So my father-in-law asked me, the Gaelic club are going to do pod training if you want to join up, just to get your fitness back up when you do, like when everything goes back running, so you're nice and fit going back playing soccer again. And I was like, yeah, why not? Like, you know, probably he'll help me to get out, because that time we're all in lockdown, we weren't allowed to do anything. So yeah, I went in, did it, and trained with the boys. The boys were welcoming. They were all great. They're all proper sound. Did it some training, played a few junior games, and they were a bit like, oh, okay, geez, we weren't kind of expecting that. But and neither was I really, because I haven't played it since minors. But yeah, I was a bit rusty, but like, you know, I was a lot better as I thought I would be, if that makes sense. And like, geez, okay, you're not at that kind of junior level. So they kind of brought me up to the Courtwood senior team. And yeah, we just went from there, really, you know.
And what position were you play? I think you've played in the full back line, have you, for Laois?
Yes, so for Laois I played for the full back, but for Courtwood I played wing back. And at the moment now I'm actually kind of trying me in the midfield. So I'm kind of playing everywhere, like, really. So so they used to have me to do a marking job on a lad. If there's a lad on the pitch and they need him to stop playing. So they kind of used to use me as a marker, and I was quite good at actually doing that. So I used to just do that, and, you know, trying to help my team in any way, really. So so yeah, they used to play me. At one game they played me actually corner forward.
Right.
But just to do a marking job on a guy, so just to get him out of the game completely. I'm like, corner forward, like, what am I gonna do there? But yeah, we ended up actually winning that game, and yeah, it was great actually. Yeah, it was really good.
So
yeah.
I would have thought that, like, your skill set would be pretty good from playing soccer, but it's still quite a different sport. So when you went back to just kicking the ball, having not played in a number of years, how rusty were you?
Oh, like I was yeah, no, I was shocking. I'd probably say I was shocking. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But then again, that's just coming from me, you know. Other boys were like, you know what, that's actually quite good for a person that haven't played it in that long, you know. But for me, because obviously I used to play when I was younger, and I knew, like, I was actually quite decent at it when I was younger. So I was trying to come back. I'm like, oh, geez, I used to do that a lot better. I used to do, but that's just me being really, like, hard on myself. But the skill set was a lot different, because you're you're catching the ball, you're kicking out your hands, you have score points. You know, football is just all the ground. The only thing you have to do is with your hands is when you're throwing the ball in, really. So it's a lot different, but still similar in the same way. Like, and but it took a while for me to kind of get back, and even at that, I'm still trying to improve on my skill set with the ball, and trying to improve myself all the time. So it was quite good when I went into Laois. Billy Sheen, he actually started from scratch with me because he knew, like, oh yeah, he needs to I need to work on this, and he helped me out a lot with my skill set with the ball, kicking outside your boot, and all that stuff, and catching the ball. Like, so yeah, that kind of helped me a lot in where I am now. So yeah, it's been great.
So how long between your first game of Courtwood versus your call up for Laois?
Oh geez, I literally, because it was mad because last year I didn't play. I think I played one league game because the year before I did my hamstring, and I tore my hamstring, and I never rehabbed it properly. So when I went and started playing with Courtwood, I kept pulling my hamstring. My hamstring kept going on me, so I didn't get a chance to play the league. And Courtwood were really good because they had a physio there for me, and I had to go to the physio literally every day, getting needles jabbed into my hamstring, which I hate. But and they got me right for championship, and so I literally just played championship, and yeah, I got called up to the Laois side, which was a great thing, really, because it was unexpected. Like, I was even shocked when I got the ring. I was like, because I remember him ringing me, and I was like, he's like, "This is Billy Sheen. I'm here. I've watched your game, and I wanted you to come up on the panel." I was like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Billy, honestly, if you're taking the mick out of me, stop now, because And I was like to him, I don't think I actually played that well to be involved in it, but if you say so, I'll go ahead with the flow, really. So that's what I kind of did, because I was quite shocked.
He must have seen a bit of potential in what you had done.
He must have, really, yeah.
So when you went in, you've been in dressing rooms, you mentioned Crawley, different ones in professional soccer teams. What was it like for you going into the Laois training the first time, or did you know a few club mates already that were in there, so it was grand?
Yeah, so I had three of my club mates there, actually. They were already from Courtwood. They were already in there, so it was quite because I went up on our first training. We kind of all went up together, which was a massive icebreaker for me, because obviously it's different. You're meeting different people now. Like, everyone's coming from different clubs and all, and obviously I've never been in that kind of atmosphere before. It's quite different with football. So it was grand. It was grand. It wasn't as tough as I thought it would be. The boys were sound. The boys were all sound. We all literally, on the first day, we all just clicked like that. Billy and everyone in the panel were absolute bang on. So it was easy for me to make that kind of transition into the county team. So yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, because the day before I was sweating. I was like, oh jeez, better not make a mistake now. Just keep it simple now, Collins. No, that's all going through your heads and all. But it was grand when I got there. It just went on from there, really.
Yeah, and it must have been great pride for both you and your family then when you made your debut. I think that was against Wexford, was it, in the O'Byrne Cup?
Yes, we played against Wexford. Yes, that was the O'Byrne Cup. So yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, even up to now, I'm like, geez, okay. It still doesn't hit me sometimes. Like, geez, I actually did play. I played county, and I played against this, and I played against him and all that stuff. And yeah, it's a massive honor, because especially my family, they won't really know much about Gaelic. So, but now that I'm on it, you're like involved and invested, and like, oh, okay, this is how you do this. Oh wow, like everyone else is at home, you're all invested now, because I kind of brought it into the spotlight, because before it used to be all, like I said, soccer. Now it's something different. Like, oh, okay, like it's something different. But yeah, they're all invested.
Yeah, brilliant. And do you feel like the soccer chapter is closed, or is it something that you might dabble in again?
To be fair, I don't even know how. I can't even answer that. At the moment, I'm playing Gaelic and I'm enjoying it, and I'm actually, that's what I kind of like, because with the football, I've always trying to achieve something with it. you know. And when you're always trying to achieve something, where it gets a bit draining because every little thing you're trying to be perfect. You're trying to be perfect, and you can't be perfect. If that makes sense. And with Gaelic, I just put on my boots, put on my jersey, and go out and play. And literally go play. Game is over. We all meet up at the pub after or whatever, and I'll go home to the family and just, you know, just it's handy and it's just stress free, and that's what I love about it. And I think that's probably why I am where I am now, because I just play and I just enjoy it really. It just like whatever happens really. But with soccer, it was, I have to try and impress him. I have to try and do this. I have to try and, try and make sure I get a contract next year. Like, it's a lot, and sometimes it can take a toll on you, all that pressure, That's what happens to a lot of soccer players.
And can I ask you then, just to jump back to Harry Kewell, because, when I was younger, he was just such a brilliant player, especially when he was with Leeds, and he wasn't quite as good at Liverpool, but he was still excellent there and won a Champions League. What's he like in the dressing room?
He's quiet. He's very quiet. He doesn't really mingle around with the players. Like, he just kind of does his own thing, and when he needs to be there, he's there. He's I would have had a decent enough relationship with him, but he's not the kind of coach that, like a Klopp, that you see they're hugging his players at the end of the game, or being invested. He just kind of, I'm not gonna say anything bad, but he's just him really. He just comes in, does what he needs to do, and go really.
Yeah. What players would you have, I suppose, aspired to be like, or who were your heroes growing up?
Me, geez. So my favorite player actually was Philip Lahm, that played for Bayern Munich, because I kind of played the similar position, and I always watched him play, and I'm like, oh, that's the way I want to play. Like, for me, I thought he was great as a defender, and that role that he plays was just amazing. And it's unusual because not a lot of people would think that, because geez, that's your favorite player. But yeah, for me, I thought he was excellent, especially for his height as well, and the way he just ran the game, and from that right back position or that holding midfield position, because they were the two similar positions I played, and I thought he was probably one of the best players ever that have ever kicked the football, really.
And what team do you support?
I'm an Arsenal man.
Really? Okay. Yeah. They're getting a bit better now under Mikel Arteta.
Oh yeah. You're playing. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
They certainly are. Yeah. Well, look, Colin's absolutely brilliant to chat to you, and best of luck with the rest of the season and everything going forward.
Thank you very much. It's nice